So recently I made a video about the end of an era. So it's my official 32 birthday week, which it was past Sunday, which, for me it started on Sunday, and I'm just going to slowly, I'm not going to celebrate it like the old normies. I'm just going to celebrate it because of the new accomplishments that I participated in. Like, props to myself, I kind of went through a difficult choice of studying something that I would never expected to be part of because I didn't believe myself. I didn't think I had the IQ for it. I think it's this propaganda made against me that kind of made me believe that I was less or unworthy of compared to everybody else. But I've noticed everybody's envious. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be attractive or unattractive. Nobody's going to like you. Once people go after the 25th birthday, you're just a threat to everybody. Everybody's competing against each other. No one is really there to help you. They just want to mock you and destroy you and make sure that you're out of the way so they can get to the particular goal. After realizing all of this, and like I mentioned in the old video or the last video about the new friends and everything, even though I made some new friends, I have to keep my guard up, not let everybody into my life. And that's why I can't trust nobody anymore. Everybody seems quite sneaky. They always want something out of you, and once you're no longer valuable to them, then they're going to chew you up and throw you out. So what I started doing, even with these new particular friends that I recently made, is I have to see how to really hang out with them, but at a distance, not bring them too much into my life. So they can't scam me, they can't take nothing out of me. And once you keep a distance, you're going to realize that they want to be with you or not. So that's a way you can do it. So the era of today is I'm going to try to become more disciplined, more self-aware of my responsibilities. I realize that I'm not a young adult. I'm already an adult, mature adult, so there's no time to waste. And I understand the economy sucks. The world that we currently live in is not the world that we wanted to live in. We didn't have nothing to do with that. Unfortunately, that's how it works. People on top, they happen to design the world that they think it's best for us, which, it's kind of sad to think like that, but it is what it is. I have to really acknowledge some of my bad habits that I was doing back in the day. When I was young, I was not confident, and I don't have no reason to be confident. I'm not that attractive, I'm not that tall. I don't have anything to be intimidated by, and that's why you have to learn to earn some trust. Maybe they're not going to like you, but at least get some respect. And how can you do that? Discipline. Use your brain. And don't give them nothing to laugh about you. So like I mentioned before, a lot of us in the manosphere, we're just mockery tools for other content, so they can kind of, ridicule us, make themselves feel better, make their audience feel better about us, just for the simple fact that they believe that they sorry about this. There's this horrible traffic. I hate construction, guys. This is not my typical day. Oh, I hate traffic. So what I was trying to get to at is, technically, you're gonna have to earn respect for everybody. There's no way around it. It's the hard truth, but you have to really acknowledge that no one respects you, and they will never respect you or have any empathy or pity for you, because obviously they don't care. People want to feel superior to others. That's what gets them to be motivated, and that's what pretty much makes their miserable lives even worth of living. I realized this when I was working at the corporate world, sports, or anything that I participate in. It's everybody's against each other. It doesn't matter. Even if they act like they want to be your friends, they're not your friends. I don't know if I can use the word, they're miserable bees, if you know what I mean, the B word, because I don't know, because I don't want to get, I'm not trying to get, censored on YouTube. They're miserable bastards. That's what they are. And I had to realize this, not that long ago, that I don't have no one's respect. When I was nice to everybody, when I was very generous and trying to make myself welcome to the community, I was never really liked or accepted. It's like I don't understand this world. If you try to be generous, if you try to be helpful, be part of the community, I'm not even talking about because you're unattractive or you're short or anything. What I mean by this is, one, when you help someone, it's kind of like you're supposed to, for the simple fact that you're even accepted in their community. When I mean community, when you go to the gym, when you live in this town, when you go to work, or anything related to the community, it's like it's your obligation to serve as a slave, just for the simple fact that you live in their environment. So being generous, being nice, being extremely educated and formal, it's not going to do enough for you. So how did I earn their respect? So this is what I had to do. Because I was it's like everybody wanted to mock me for some odd reason. Even if you're reserved, you're quiet, you're respectful, you try to maintain a very good behavior. When I mean behavior, like not be like the other a-holes that try to be like something that they're not. They impersonate a character that everybody knows it's quite obvious it's not their character. Simple words, people are just being douche. So what I started doing is I became more disciplined. I started to outperform them in the gym or in sports, even in academics, even in economy. When you become something that they never expect you to become, you demonstrate that you have a little bit of IQ, you have a little bit of discipline, you have a little bit of you motivate yourself. If you motivate yourself without anybody inspiring you, that would bring a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, and a lot of envious, and the true colors of everybody else in your environment. I'm not going to go into what I'm studying because I'm going to keep my life a little bit private. When you start to talk about specific high IQ stuff and about your career, because everybody here is kind of like adjusted to their cycle of work and everything, when you kind of go out of the box or out of your comfort zone and you start to really demonstrate that who you are, they don't want to talk to you no more. It's kind of like they talked to me because they thought it was a great way to make a mockery of me. When you start to really be that person, that disciplined, that guy that doesn't care about anybody else, they would stop talking to you. They will smile with intimidation. They will just leave. And I'm not saying I'm a tough guy. I'm not saying I'm a smart guy. I'm not. But I know who I am. I know what I'm worth. And now, so that's how I earn everybody's respect. So now they don't try to mock me and anything, because they know what I'm worth. They know what I can do. They know what I can do to them if they try to screw me over. And yeah, I understand. So this is like a little tip for you guys. Earn your respect. Get some discipline. Get out of it. I understand. I'm not a red pill channel, but I am sick and tired of all of us being a mockery tool. Not even in the ministry. We're not even respected. We're just made fun of with other YouTube videos. You guys can look it up. Everybody. Luckily for me, I don't care. They can make a mockery of me. I don't really care. Go ahead and do it if that makes you feel good about yourself. But I'm not going to mention any names, but obviously a little bit of few of the black pill videos were posted on another YouTube content, and it's kind of like you're just getting ridiculed, you're getting more mocked. Everybody thinks you're pathetic, everybody thinks you're a loser, everybody thinks you're unworthy, and you should not exist. And why? Because that's how we demonstrate ourselves. It's like we give them that reason. So what I started doing is, in the real life, I just had to come to terms with myself. What I'm doing wrong is, one, even though I worked and I did everything right, I still had like a little bit of laziness in the mental side of myself. So I had to, change that. I started to become more disciplined mentally. Like I started reading, I started, engaging in more things that can bring up my high IQ. I'm trying to, reach the full extension of my capabilities with the IQ. And that's how you really you're not going to win. You're just going to get respect. Respect where they know that you're not dumb, you're not easy to push around, you're not easy to manipulate. You have to also demonstrate a very strong character. My biggest issues was the laziness in the mental side, lack of character, always unconfident, always scared to do things. And I'm still scared, I'm never going to do dumb things or do things that are going to get me in trouble or let me into jail or prison. I'm not going to do that. I almost got into trouble once, and I'm very regretful, but it's because I was weak. I was mentally weak. I was defeated. I just didn't care about myself, and I'm not going to go through that ever again. I had to be humiliated for a little bit. So what's the purpose of the video of the end of the era? Well, it's not for me, but I would love for you guys to also learn when your era has came to an end and start a new one. I don't think the era of this, I'm not going to like it much. Like, I'm not liking the new friends. Not because I think they're unworthy. It's just, you can't trust them. They're a little bit younger, but maybe because I have not gotten married, I don't have any kids, I don't have much to talk about with the older people my age, because all of them are kind of married now. So I'm still kind of like in that young adult mindset, which is okay. I'd rather feel young than old. And also, another respect that I had to do is keep my beliefs firm. I don't care anymore. I'm going to be respectful. Still, I'm never going to disrespect your beliefs, but don't try to enforce or try to persuade me to go into your religion. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to respect you. I respect your boundaries. I respect your environment, but don't try to force it on me. And that's why, people got my respect, but obviously still don't like me because I'm not a submissive individual. See, a lot of people want to use religion, people like us, because they kind of can tell that we're not going to be, people already know if you're like the guy that's going to get married or not. They think religion is the last solution for you, because obviously they're quite afraid that you can rebel or become someone angry, because that's, like I said, the negative propaganda against us is they made us to be this individual creatures that once we get mad, we become extremely infuriated and become unreasonable. We start doing all these horrible acts and become, national news or sometimes international news. So they want to use religion, believing that, oh, here you go to religion, you find God, you can find a single mom with a couple kids, but she repented, she's just looking for the husband. Because that's what literally happened to me once. I was, at work in East Life Baptist Church. Individuals came to preach to me. And I know, okay, and here's a really fun fact. The lady was not that ugly. She was actually pretty attractive, but you can tell she had a couple kids. And I know she was a single mom. You can see the trauma. You can see it was a typical sinner. How she liked to say a sinner. She was that girl that probably did very bad choice in her life. Now she regrets it. She went to church just looking for that guy that's going to be the solution, because in religion they teach you someone's coming to save you, and that doesn't really work. I don't believe in miracles. When I told her I appreciated her time and thinking about me, but obviously I'm not interested. And then she tried to persuade me by her looks, like, well, I hope to see you at church and maybe we can talk to each other again. See, are you trying? I don't know if you guys get the concept of the conversation that I'm having with you guys, but obviously people that know a little bit about you, or they can tell who you are, they want you to get to church, marry the single moms. They believe that's the solution for you not to, go full crazy. And even if I don't have a girl, I don't get married, I'm not going to go full crazy. I don't think it's the smart thing to do, obviously, if you're already tired of society. But obviously people don't care. Keep that in mind. No one cares. No one's coming to save you. Just get respect so they can leave you alone and let you continue with their life. So that's the end of that's the new era for me, is respect myself, get some respect, stop being lazy, stop being or thinking about how unworthy I am. I just don't care. I'm going to try to pursue the goals that I have in mind, which I kind of already given the first steps, which I already got it in myself. I cannot stop. Second of all, be more disciplined. Stop being generous. Stop helping people that don't deserve my help, so I don't lose my discipline, my routine. I'm gonna, just work for myself and live a life that I think is reasonable for me. Not put myself into debt. Not worship anything stupid. Like, I just want to be safe and sorry and have an okay life without any hardcore debts. If you have any debt, it's going to affect you in a later life. And I don't want that stress. I don't want to go with what my father had to go through when he was put in the hospital for too much stress. I just don't want to live that life. I just want to, earn some trust for myself. And that's pretty much it for you. For this era, the friends, they're going to have any friends. They're just allies. They're allies. They're never going to respect you. They're allies because you have a common enemy. You have a common interest. Until that interest is completed, it's been fulfilled, then they're going to move on. And these new friends are young. They're going to get married soon. They're going to get, with girlfriends and girlfriends. Or boyfriends. Sorry, girlfriends and boyfriends. Sorry about that. And they're going to see that you're still a little bit odd. And that's how it is, guys. But if you have something that you can demonstrate that you have something to live for, they're just going to leave you alone. They're not going to criticize you. But which I hope this video makes sense. That's pretty much it for this video. That's it's going to complete the new era video. Like the last one was the end of an era. Now it's just like the new era. So what made me change? It's not because of my 32th birthday. It's just in the life you have cycles you just don't realize because life goes too fast, or you're too sad, or you're too distracted to even realize that things change a lot. But it is what it is, guys. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to be sad. I'm not putting any more anger, any more stress. When I started this channel, I was quite angry. I was still on fresh. I was very just upset about everything. But, I'm not going to get to what my exes did to me or whatever happened with these particular girls that did me wrong because I don't care anymore. As long as I don't see them, I'm quite content. That's the only thing I can wish for. I don't care about the pretty girls or the unattractive girls or the curvy girls. And kind of like how, I forgot his name. I think he goes by Desmo. If he can't have it, why even look at it? So... Alright guys, that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys like it. I understand it's not fully black pill, but I hope you guys understand my perspective, my point of view. I'm tired. I'm not going to be on the losing side forever. There's a time where you have to rebel. There's a time where you have to really rise up. But some people would understand this video, some others, that's absolutely fine. But if you like it, awesome. If not, no worries. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves and peace out.